everyone. Welcome. It's Thursday night. Ooh, these comments on these streets are totally ridiculous. I'm laughing at some people. So, hey, Rachel. Hey, 71. So we're gonna address the elephant in the room from last night. So Jamie had a party last night, and some people couldn't get the joke, so to speak. So let's explore for the ones in the back, the slow folks, what they missed out on the clues. So we're gonna I'm gonna go right over to Jamie's channel real quick, and we're gonna take a look at the thumbnail. So Jamie always makes nice and stunning thumbnails for all of his streams. So let's put this on the screen. So my final broadcast, it's been fun. So let me just zoom out a little bit. I have it a little too big, actually. So there we go. So does everyone see a picture of a hurricane in the left, on the left? And a picture of Beetlejuice in the eye of a hurricane with some skulls, and him having and Beetlejuice laughing it up. Does everyone see that? With the lightning in the background. And it says, my final broadcast with question marks. All right. Some people thought it was his final broadcast. Please. If anyone believed that, you need to get your meds adjusted. All right. Yeah, it was a fucking joke, Rachel. It was a fucking joke. You know? And the comments I'm reading on this damn platform where they can't take a damn joke. Please. Hey, Wendy. So we have people like Enchanted and other people saying, oh, this isn't funny. Really? So he can't. So while it's raining, pouring rain where Jamie is, he can't go live and have a good time and have a party. Yeah, Rachel, you know, it was a joke. You could see in the thumbnail. Sometimes if you don't know what Jamie's going to be talking about, you can look at the thumbnail. Look at the thumbnail as a visual aid for clues. People. You know? Damn. So, So I've seen some melodramatic comments all over the place, trashing us, saying, "Oh, Milton was no joke," or "Helene was no joke." All right, hurricanes are no joking matter. I'll take the middle position on this. Okay. I'll take the middle. Hey, Mr. K. So I'll take the middle position on this, but Jamie was right as it pertains to Florida. Florida has come a long way in preparing for these storms. In many cases, hurricanes are just a nuisance to Florida now. Now, over the years, Florida has built deeper storm drains. They have built so the flooding is kept to a minimum. They have upped their building codes, especially during Hurricane Andrew and its aftermath. Now, Hurricane Andrew was a terrible Category 5 hurricane that devastated south of Miami in 1992. Now, after Hurricane Andrew, the codes, the building code was up there. So after Andrew, they just up the building code even more. And so what happened with the building code after Hurricane Andrew was any new build had to I'm going to get to it, Rachel. All right? So after Hurricane Andrew, what the building codes meant was any new structure had to be built to these specifications. However, if you needed a new roof or something after that date, any new home repair had to be built to those specifications in the new law. So these building codes were made stronger, and these are statewide. So you don't see as much damage anymore with these hurricanes. So now they have these hurricane parties. All right. Now you have these hurricane parties where they just stay at home. These people just stay at home. A lot of the time they don't evacuate because they could withstand the storm. It's just a nuisance. The worst they'll get is no power for a week, perhaps 2 weeks. Oh yeah, they have special fences now too, and everything, you know? I saw this new thing with the mesh where it's like they tested it in a wind funnel. And if it's a category 4 outside, it's like a cat 1 inside the or a tropical storm inside. So oh really? Is he triggered, Sarah? If he's triggered, I'll restream him. If not, I'll just leave him be, you know. So yeah, Rachel. It's but with Milton, that the problem was they had more tornadoes than usual. And even the tornadoes, they didn't cause as much damage as they normally would anywhere else in the country. That's all right, Rachel. But so what happened during Helene here in North Carolina was it was a bitch. So people are coming up with these stories or whatever. According to our local news, they closed I-40, most of the freeway, all the way into Tennessee because of the flooding. The flooding was horrendous here. Now I was away from the flooding. I'm out in the mountains. I'm probably 65 miles away from the mountains. So they closed I-40 from Statesville all the way to the state line in Tennessee. I think it's to Knoxville or something. I heard two stories. One was 40 was closed to Knoxville in Tennessee. Another story was it was to Nashville. And the reason for that was bridges were washed out. Not only bridges were washed out, some sections were washed out too. So, and very long sections are closed, still closed. And there were mudslides in the mountains because of so much rain. And there were dam failures. Now the dams didn't burst. They just the water was so high, it just the water went right over the dams. Now we were lucky we didn't get the tornadoes. We didn't get, and if we did get tornadoes, they were like dinky little ones. They didn't do much of any damage. They just blew some stuff around but this got me thinking. This got me really, really thinking. This is what we get. Don't take my words the wrong way, everyone. This is what we get for building in the wrong places. All right. Now, this isn't the 1600s anymore or the 1500s. All right. back in Europe, where we had limited technology, everyone settled on a river for drinking water. All right, so they built a lot of their cities and towns on major rivers. So a lot of Europe's population centers are on actual rivers, lakes, the coast. All right. So when explorers came to North America, what did they do? They did the exact same thing. We set up our cities along the Mississippi River, the Ohio River, the Hudson. All right. Several other major cities in the U.S. are along rivers, creeks. And the reason for that was for easy travel by boat, drinking water, you name it. But when you get these storms, all right, either on the coast or on the river, these rivers flood. All right. And they cause catastrophic damage. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blame people. All right. But I was just thinking, do we have to change the way we live now? Because, okay, the weather's getting worse these days. Do we got to relocate cities and towns away from Yeah, Rachel, I view it this way. There are swamps in places for a reason. You know, but we think we can drain swamps and build dams to control rivers. All right. But we're learning, I think we're learning the hard way that we can't always beat Mother Nature in these things. Like, look at California, for example. All right. It wasn't smart to build on a fault line. Now, I'm not going to sit there and blame people because back in the 1800s, we didn't even know what a fault line was. Oh, this area looks nice. Let's set up. Let's build towns. Let's explore. Hey, Summer. And you don't need a tropical cyclone to cause major damage. Look at the Great Lakes, for example. You can get category 1 and category 2 force winds off the Great Lakes. I've been through it. You know, it's sometimes not fun. Up north by the Great Lakes, the building codes are up there with Florida. Because too often the winds are really, really, really high. So we got to consider in the future, in my opinion, we got to build better. But at the same time, oh yeah, lots of lake effect snow. Oh, that was a pain in the ass, Wendy. I remember those lake effect snowstorms. Those were horrendous. I remember one time I was in a 7-foot snowstorm. We got 7 feet. Damn. Yeah, so much wind, snow drifts, you name it. And here's the thing that really bothers me. All right. Here's the thing that really bothers me about how they portray some of these hurricanes. Yeah, cold too, Wendy, you know? So the weather stations and the news. Ooh, ouch, summer. Yeah, the Great Lakes are good for that. So what my problem is a lot of the time these news stations and the weather people. Hey, Kimberly. Yeah, and the high winds, Kimberly. Because we used to get where I lived, we used to get like 80, 90, 100 mile per hour winds off the lake. I think at one time it was 115, collected in at 115. So my problem with them is they over exaggerate and sensationalize the whole thing. They only show certain areas where it's not as widespread. So they show, so they'll show river flooding. They'll show an isolated tornadoes from the storm, and they hype you up. They hype you up and scare you. Now, I'm not saying don't take these storms seriously, because a hurricane can be dangerous, especially with the heavy rain. It could flood anywhere, but especially if you're next to a river or lake or pond or something. Yeah, you're looking for trouble. All right. I'm just saying. So when I looked at pictures from Helene down in Georgia, all right, most of the pictures or the footage were from people that were along rivers, creeks. The water was coming right in. All right. And these were isolated locations. Now, I believe in the old fashioned saying, turn around and don't drown, especially if a river is at flood stage and it is flooding the road. Yeah, Kit. You know, if you're in the desert and it gets so hot out, anytime sometimes it rains, it floods. I've seen that on video. So they're giving Jamie a fucking hard time for live streaming during a hurricane and joking around. Because Florida is prepared up the ass for him. Yeah, it was just an excuse to attack him. I agree, 71. It was just a fucking excuse to attack him. And I'm not very pleased with it. All right. I'm not very pleased with it. Hey, Kit. I'm not very happy with that. So why would and then they're then and I'm just gonna comment on that roll pizza pie or something like that. He was wishing death on people just because of a damn hurricane. There's something wrong with you, pizza pie. There's something fucking wrong with you. All right? There's something fucking wrong with you. So you're wishing death on a bunch of other people, hoping that Jamie gets washed out to sea. You're sick. All right? You're fucking sick. No respect for human life whatsoever. So this idiot says, "Oh, I don't know these people. I don't care." Damn. Get a grip. So, yeah, Kimberly, I'm just saying, it's kind of our fault as race and where we built. We like to live on the ocean or we like to live on a river. It's convenient. You get what I'm saying? Or on the Great Lakes or something like that. But something has to change. We have the Mississippi. How many times has the Mississippi River flooded this decade? Too many to count. In my opinion, I think towns have to be moved, or you got to have a nice big strip of land in between where you can build. The building code has to be changed. You cannot build so close to a swamp. You cannot build so close to a river. It would save a lot of lives, just saying. That is 100% true, Summer. That is 100% true. 100%. 100%. We need to focus on our needs, not these other So I've been seeing some comments, some nasty comments about the Garth Brooks incident. So they're going after some of us because, in some of our opinions, the whole lawsuit looks like a erotic porn novel. written in the paperwork. And I'm like thinking, this whole thing doesn't make any sense with the Garth Brooks thing. Is I don't buy it. All right. I don't buy it. Now I've seen the tapes of real victims that were caught on tape. All right. I seen the tapes with P. Diddy. All right. A few of them. And P. Diddy's victims tried to make a run for it. All right. So why did this hairstylist or makeup artist? So according to the court paperwork, she claims that Garth Brooks got out of the shower, no towel on, horny, walks out of the bathroom. Now, in my opinion, that would make any person alarmed. All right. That was me. Okay. I'm just trying to put myself in someone's shoes. Okay. I'm just trying to put myself into someone's shoes. If that was me and didn't want to do anything, I'd probably politely say no and go for the door. All right. It's supposedly a hotel room. Okay. It's a hotel room. If it was supposed to be professional, some of these rich people, they when they get a hotel room, it's actually a suite, not just one room and a bathroom. So if that was true, why didn't she just go for the door? Okay. Yeah, and then the other part that gets me was the section of the complaint where the husband gets involved. So the husband finds out about it and then she's crying or whatever. I think she got yeah, of course, Kimberly. She's a hairdresser. She has the scissors. His schlong was out. She could have totally saved herself. Don't you hear that? Scissors can be weapons. Damn, this doesn't make any sense. All right, no matter which way you put it, she could have been caught. Her husband could have been caught. May have caught them cheating, and her way out of it was to cry grape. To cry grape afterwards. So she's trying to stick with the story that she told her husband, a lie. Just say, "Oh no, I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. He's abusive." But she had no problem the first time that he exposed herself. That he exposed himself, right? She had no problem the first time. No problem the first time. So she goes back. Damn. This whole complaint doesn't make sense. All right. Now, I might not know the whole story, but this is the way it's looking right now. All right. Damn. And they're saying, and some of these people are saying, oh, we believe all victims. Really? This could be a fucking extortion racket, as far as we know. Garth Brooks could be telling the truth here. Yep, Summer, 100%. And it's civil court. This is civil court, means the police didn't have any evidence. Plus, I don't think she has any evidence either, Summer. I don't think she has any evidence. It's his word against hers, and you need some evidence in civil court. You need to show that he most likely did it in order to get damages. In criminal court, you need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So in civil court, it's more like preponderance of the evidence that they most likely did it. That's the civil court. Yeah, this is so hearsay will be thrown out of any court hearing. So speaking of this crap, all right. Speaking of this shit that's been going around. We all know Tiffany is crying crying and crying and crying. All right. We all know she's crying. Oh, my revenge, Prawn. And she's blaming all the wrong people. We've all heard this on Darling Nikki. No, but you can always cash out me, Lauren, $600 problem. I'll take any money you got. Hey, Siren. So, hey Tracy. So we all know Tiffany is sitting there defending one person that's doing it, that did it, with all the proof released. Actually, you can actually watch the video over at Amber's channel. She actually did a good job actually exposing it. I actually shared the video on my community wall, exposing the number one problem with Tiffany's Prawn. However, I came across something that's going on about the whole prawn business, the revenge prawn business. And things are changing, but it's slow. All right. So we all know Tiffany, Miss Flashlight, loves attention. All right. I don't know if she likes attention, but she likes to send out her own videos, and yeah, barfany. She likes to send out her own content of a sexual nature to set people up with. All right. But the people don't get the definition of revenge prawn. Okay? What it is non-consensual. What does that mean legally? It means you took dirty photos of yourself and they're being distributed without your consent, basically. Now, if you sign up to be a cam whore, or you sign up or you go work as a prostitute for a porn company, they make you sign something. It's called a consent form. All right? It means they pay you a fee. They pay you money to perform a sexual act for financial compensation, but that company owns the rights. All right? So under the law, that wouldn't be considered revenge prawn. Okay? The only way it would be revenge prawn is if they were homemade movies that she signed no consent form and someone distributed them without her consent. Okay? So I'm learning that most states have revenge prawn laws on the books. But the laws are changing. Now, this came in my feed today, and I had to research it because there's a few dynamics to this. Okay, so there are two bills in Congress. Okay, one is called the SHIELD Act. And the SHIELD Act deals with children, stiffening the penalties for distributing intimate images of kids, making it a 5-year jail sentence. That passed the Senate, with the House holding it up. So in July, it was delivered to the House and is probably waiting its turn to be voted on. Now, there's a new piece of legislation that's more to this community's business. Okay? It's called the Take It Down Act. So Tiffany might be sitting here jumping up and down. Ooh, I could take it down. I could take my videos down. But if you went to a porn company, Tiff, and they own the rights to it, sorry. You only get to take it down if guess what? You made it yourself. So let's see what this is. All right. So revenge prawn is considered under state laws as actual images, real nudity. All right. But this bill goes a step further. Okay. It's catching up with social media and the technology available. Now, so it's this bill will make it a felony for you to make a deep fake of someone. So what does that mean? So that means if you take a naked body and put someone else's face on it, that would be considered a deep fake. Or you take Photoshop or another AI program and you airbrush their clothes off for harassment purposes. That would be considered a deep fake under this bill. Okay? So this bill would require social media platforms and tube sites to remove non-consensual and intimate visual depictions and for other purposes. So they would have to remove these images within 48 hours of getting the report from a victim. So I'm reading the part of the bill. So A, consent. The term consent means affirmative, conscious, and voluntary authorization made by an individual free from force, fraud, duress, misrepresentation, or coercion. Okay? Read. Does everyone understand consent under this bill that's being considered by Congress? Yeah, Kit. That would eliminate most of ODN's lame postings, you know? So, let me read that again. Consent. The term consent means affirmative, conscious, and voluntary authorization made by an individual free from force, fraud, duress, misrepresentation, or coercion. Now, B, deep fake. The term deep fake means a video or image that is generated or substantially modified using machine learning techniques or any other computer generated or machine generated means to falsely depict an individual's appearance or conduct within an intimate visual depiction. So that means an AI program, Photoshop, blah, blah, blah. C, identifiable individual. In general, the term identifiable individual means an individual, one, who appears in whole or in part of an intimate visual depiction, and whose face, likeness, other distinguishing characteristic, including a unique birthmark or other recognizable feature, is displayed in connection with such intimate visual depiction. 2, appears for purposes of clause. An individual appears in an intimate visual depiction if 1, the individual is actually the individual identified in the intimate visual depiction, or 2, the deep fake of the individual is used to realistically depict the individual such that a reasonable person would believe the individual is actually depicted in the intimate visual depiction. D, interactive computer service. The term interactive computer service has the meaning given the term in section 230. Intimate visual depiction, E. The term intimate visual depiction has the meaning given such term in section 1309 of the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2022. F, minor. The term minor means anyone under the age of 18. So, let's go to penalties, shall we? The intimate visual depiction was obtained or created under circumstances in which the person knew or reasonably should have known the identifiable individual had a reasonable expectation of privacy. What was depicted was not voluntarily exposed by the identifiable individual in a public or commercial setting. So, you're going on by what's required, such as causing harm, including psychological, financial, or reputational harm, to abuse, humiliate, harass, or degrade. So, an exception to this law will be disclosure to a law enforcement agency or officer as part of a document production or filing associated with a legal proceeding, as part of a medical education, diagnosis, treatment, or legitimate medical, scientific, or educational purpose, in the reporting of unlawful content or solicited or unwelcome conduct in the pursuance of a legal, professional, or lawful obligation. Unlawful. So the penalties, offenses involving adults, will be 2 years in prison. Offenses involving minors will be 3 years. So, if you make a threat to do so, you are punished the same way as if you did it yourself under this legislation. So, number 5, threats. Any person who intentionally threatens to commit an offense under paragraph 2 for the purposes of intimidation, coercion, extortion, or to create mental distress will be punished as provided in paragraph 3, which is penalties. So get that, trolls. I actually hope this passes. So now we're going to go to section 3. All right. Of this new legislation. All right. So notice and removal of non-consensual intimate visual depictions. So establishment. Not later than 1 year after the date of enactment of this act, a covered platform shall establish a process whereby an identifiable individual or authorized representative of such individual may notify the platform of an intimate visual depiction published on the platform that includes a depiction of the identifiable individual and was published without the consent of the identifiable individual, and submit a request for the covered platform to remove such intimate visual depiction. So B, requirements. So, okay, let's see here. So a physical or electronic signature of the identifiable individual or authorized representative, an identification of the intimate visual depiction of the identifiable individual, a brief statement that the identifiable individual has a good faith that the intimate visual depiction hold on. Damn, where is it? Okay, just give me a second. Just gotta plug my laptop in. Find the cord. Okay. All right. So a brief statement. The identifiable individual has a good faith belief that any intimate visual depiction identified under Clause 2 is non-consensual, including any relevant information that the covered platform to determine the intimate visual depiction was published without the consent of the identifiable individual. A covered platform shall provide on the platform a clear and conspicuous notice of the notice and removal process established under paragraph 1. So, upon receiving a valid removal request from identifiable individual using the process described in the paragraph, covered platform shall remove the intimate visual depiction and make reasonable efforts to remove any identical copies of such depiction as soon as possible, but not later than 48 hours after receiving such a request. So if any social media site decides to violate this law, if it becomes law or if it's passed by Congress, this is enforced by the FTC. So complaints would be filed through them, the Federal Trade Commission. So this bill isn't that long, actually. Usually they're 1,000 pages. Hey, Jason. So to make a long story short, they're going to be banning. They're making a federal offense to. They want to make it a federal offense to make fake images too of people. Depicted in sexual acts or and it will be a federal offense along with regular revenge prawn. So not only will state laws apply, federal laws will apply if the federal government wanted to get involved. And this law would require a takedown process to be involved. So it wouldn't matter if it's on a Prawn website or it's on a social media site that has policies against it. It wouldn't matter in this case. So there'll be no more street rats or Natasha's putting up someone's revenge prawn and getting away with it. Damn, look at that premise. And then Tiffany doesn't get to say, oh, this one shared my links on Pornhub or wherever it's posted. Unless it was homemade and taken without her consent, she has no say. All right. Yeah, it is good though. It is good in a way. It gives anyone that's a victim of it a way to take it down. their photos down, even if they're Photoshop faces on a naked body. That even counts now. But here's the problem I have. There's this Senator Booker that made an objection to it even being passed through the Senate. So Slimy is very, very lucky that she didn't she better be lucky that this law didn't get signed yet before she did it. But hey, can't win them all. You can't win them all. Yeah, but Kit, I'm just going to ask you on this. When did it ever stop Slow DN from violating the law? Yeah. Yeah, Summer. It's simple, Yeah, they sit there on this platform and they say, "Oh, I don't care. Just don't do it to me, but I could do it to everyone else." It's that attitude that leads to anarchy and chaos. The rules don't apply to me; they just apply to everyone else. It's not how it works. Yeah, it's not our fault, Kit, that he's wanted for questioning by the FBI. For the shit he's been pulling, but he would have to do something even worse for the FBI to actually step up their game and actually hunt for him. But so let's see here. So I guess Cucky isn't that triggered today. So I want to thank everyone for coming, and I'm gonna shut this down, and I'll see everyone later. So yeah, that Jason Booker is just doing it for political reasons. He's just I think he just wants to get his friend elected in Texas in the Senate. And he's saying they're just trying to say, "Oh, Ted Cruz can't get it passed." So yeah, I agree, Jason. He just made. I think Cory Booker just made an excuse to hold it up for the upcoming election next month. That's all it's about. So they're probably going to debate it some more, and it's just held up, and then they're holding up the Shield Act also in the House. So something's going on. So, all right, I'm going to go now and hope to see everyone later. So, all right. Bye-bye.